Okay, you guys, welcome back. So following on from our driver testing, driver reviews of the new RADSPEED, we're into the fairway and hybrid.
Looks like they've kept most of the things that people have liked. People love the rail system. Am I correct that the radial weight has moved its way into the fairway
has,
too?
yeah. Again, probably the biggest difference in this one would be the fixed weighting to stabilise the head. You've got this in the opposite colour scheme. To me, a very pleasing red, white and blue.
I was going to say, this is really up your alley. You can see someone getting this color scheme, maybe the new Project X Hazardous American Flag Edition.
Yeah, that would be an unbelievable
Honestly,
combo.
I think, I'm not even American, I would buy that.
I think
would
that's
be a great
Brian LaRoche's name all over it.
I think Brian will play that for sure.
Brian would love that. Little hybrid which we have here. This is one of the best hybrids I've ever seen from a company who are renowned for making great hybrids.
Yeah.
That's about as lofty praise as I can give it.
Yeah.
It looks very square on the leading edge. Doesn't look like it's kind of too hooked or anything like that, too shut. I think there's going to be a lot of people who really, really like this hybrid.
Especially with a little bonded hosel. The adjustability is nice, but I think for a lot of players in the hybrid, if they can get it fit the way they want it with a bonded hosel, they probably prefer it. Is that fair to say?
Completely agree.
Yeah.
So previous tests we've done with Cobra fairwoods have been shown us that, you know, we thought they were okay. Yeah. You probably didn't visually love them.
And it's mostly a preference thing for me. They tend to be a little on the upright side.
Yeah.
They've been a little draw bias for me. Now, that's the standard one, not the tour, obviously.
Sure.
They don't make it in lefty. So those have been kind of my pet peeves with it. Now, that being said, the look of this one I think is quite improved. I like the application of the infinity face better this time. I think last year's version it was okay. This sits a lot nicer, a lot more square. The shape of the head is nice and rounded. Yeah. So we'll see how it performs. I didn't love the previous versions because I found they hooked on me a fair amount. I had trouble getting them up in the air. They kind of felt a little kind of low draw flight for me, a little bit one-dimensional. Big
shout out to Cobra. They've sent you the F1 7X, the Motori F1, which we talked about all year. We loved that shaft. It was one of our kind of best sellers here in the store. The F3, which is the slightly softer butt section, is the stock shaft in it. So kudos to Cobra for putting a really high quality shaft in there. That shouldn't go on. It will go without mention.
No, it's very good value. I mean, that shaft in the aftermarket world is how much?
Probably $250.
Yeah, so that's tremendous extra value.
Yeah.
And it's a great fairway pairing. I think the F3 for a lot of people was a great fairway wood shaft. The F1 is just, for me personally, a little bit more stable, but for most people, the F3 is probably what you'd fit.
Let's get some initial numbers off the 3-wood Matty Boy.
Sounds good.
You've got it comes in its 14.5 degrees starting loft. You've tuned it up already to 15.5.
Yeah, I think for me, 99% of the time, a loft just above 15 is always good.
Yeah.
And in closing the face to get more loft, it still looks very square. It doesn't look like it's, shut now, so I don't have any concern with upping the loft a bit.
Okay, love it.
Sold. That'll be a bit lower spin.
That's a bit longer in there, that one.
Yeah, higher strike.
So we'll probably see the spin. What's that, 26, 27?
That's 29,
29,
actually.
Okay, good. Very quick. And what this fairway wood has done is bought you a little bit of forgiveness on the spin.
It really has.
So rather than dropping to 23, 2400, it's dropped you to 29, which is really got you to fall into an ideal window.
It's very solid.
Really nice.
I just don't remember having this easy of a time before. It's a very user-friendly.
Pop that loft down one.
Sure.
Just to see what it does, if that's out of the question.
That's done what it should do. We'll flatter.
So good.
That's great. So now
really good.
Now it's like 12 and 2800-ish. Yep.
So right in our sweet spot.
Wow. It's really easy to hit. It's good results. Oh, Cobra.
That's a beauty.
It's a nice start. Good sound, good feel.
Yeah, great sound.
Oh. Take it again. Have I died? Those shots are the same.
They literally are the same.
It's good.
That's nice, dude.
It's definitely a good flying hybrid, isn't it?
Winner.
Strong.
I think we have 2 more winners in our hands.
These are extremely good. I also seem to notice the rails, the turf interaction. It's probably the first time I've mentioned that for a hybrid. It gets through the grass really well. I didn't hit any that felt scuffy.
Getting you sort of up and out and back out that.
Kind of feels like it gets through it nicely. And if you were in a lie that's less than perfect, this is obviously perfect, I'd imagine you'd notice it even more.
Well, and where that becomes important is right around sort of where the low point is.
Right.
So if the low point was way out in front, call it 3-4 inches out in front. So if you were 3 or 4 degrees down on it with your angle attack, your low point would be out in front. So really, ball separation or ball face separation has occurred, the ball's on its journey, then you get the sense of what it's doing through the turf.
Right.
Not so much, even though you're slightly down in that there, Matty,
Yeah.
you will actually be making contact with the ground marginally before you make contact with that golf ball.
So that's probably why this felt, compared to other hybrids, it felt very clean through the turf, even though I'm very shallow. The fairway wood too has the rails.
Yeah.
Both of them feel very clean, and maybe that's why I'm feeling like contact is very kind of jumpy and lively, because it's not getting slowed down in the grass.
If you have an ability to clean that up, that's generally what the better players will talk about, that kind of feel through the turf being a little bit better.
That's probably why these rails have been on here for so many generations, because it's obviously working quite well.
It's something that probably the players are asking to keep.
Yeah, numbers are really good on both. I mean, is there anything in the ball flights that you had any concerns with? They seem very fast.
No, they were all very, very good. I think the early hybrids were really nice and high when you wanted it. You know, when you wanted to flight it in that window.
Yeah, we hit some sort of higher ones at the start.
Yep. You could get a bit more out if you needed to.
Yeah, versatile. That's kind of what you want in a hybrid. You want to be able to hit some soft ones, tee off with it a few times, and same with the fairway. No, impressed for sure. I think they've got, again, this is initial impressions, but from hitting, 10, 20 shots with each of these clubs, I think they're really good.
Great lineup, isn't it?
Yeah. Very impressed.
Very impressed. Okay, I'm keen to do this test with someone who has a little bit more of that kind of maybe that sliced tendency. I'm keen to have a look at these draw heads when they come in.
That's going to be a great video.
I think that'll be some good stuff and how people can utilise and manage their kind of excess spin and loss of ball speed and all those sorts of things.
Definitely.
I'm excited about that.
There'll be a follow-up, and we'll do the extreme version of the driver, and we'll do some draw based videos too.
That's the thing. This is only just the start. We're just getting our initial 3 heads. We have 1 driver, 1 3-wood, and 1 hybrid to test. So as the other fitting components make their way to us, this is just going to lead to more and more testing, which I think will be really, really good and showcase the product at its best.
Yeah, lots more Cobra stuff coming.
Definitely. Okay, stay tuned for that, guys. We'll see you again soon.